Hi, Islamic Dad here. I was asked to do a video on hoovering, and I haven't, really touched on it too much yet, so it made sense to go ahead and make this. Um, so, at a high level, the idea of hoovering is that after the narcissist has, done a discard phase, or you've ended the relationship, or something like that, that very often the narcissist will come back um, into your life in some fashion, which is typically surprising because very often with the narcissist they'll end things and it'll be this big deal and it's like I never want to see you again and this is forever, blah blah, and then lo and behold there they are, like a little bit later. So um, speaking to my own experiences, my ex-wife um, did more hoovering of the two narcissists that I have experienced in my life, and it was schizophrenic. It was, or at least my experience with her was very strange. She would, be very, angry, vicious, don't contact me, don't email me, don't text me, stuff like that. And it's like, okay. And then she would just show up with a gift, and this is during like the separation, before the divorce was final. We were living, basically separately, and she would just show up and be like, "Oh, I got this for you." I mean, one time she stopped by and she had bought me this Bluetooth speaker to have because, in the new place I was staying at, there really wasn't any way to listen to music, and so she stopped by, and she acted strangely, like she was hypnotized, just like in this like trance like state where her mind was elsewhere, and she was just like, "Here you go," and very strange. And then left, and at the time I'm like, oh well, maybe this is how she is, maybe we're still going to get divorced, but maybe this process won't be as bad. I mean, we can be friendly, if not friends, we can be amicable, we can be professional. And so I was like, hey, this may be, much better. And then within that same, day, like maybe later on that day or the next day, I would just get the most vicious email or text message from her imaginable. And so like that's what I'm saying. For me, like my experience with like my ex-wife hoovering was very much a roller coaster. It was, very schizophrenic. And so there would be other times like that where she would just say, "Oh, I bought you these cleaning supplies," or you left this at the house and I thought I'd drop it by. Um, just really bizarre. And my understanding of hoovering for the narcissist is that basically because they um, they go out into the world and kind of operate obsessively, that even if they quote discard you, you're still in their mind. And so they might, I mean, and that's why they have like the flying monkeys, which I did do a video on, because they're like, what are they doing? I need to know. I need to know what they're doing. I need to know if they're happy. I need to know if they're sad. It's like, even after everything that's happened, even after the end, quote unquote, they're like, okay, what's going on with them? And so hoovering is them, themselves, finding a reason to check in on you. And they'll say, oh, I forgot the coffee maker. I forgot the coffee maker. It's at your place. Can I stop by and pick that up? Or they'll be like, hey, I remember you were gonna try out for that comedy club. I mean, how did that go? I mean, and just you know I mean, at least for me, it was like very odd, because these were questions that a caring person would ask, but certainly not the vicious narcissist who I've been dealing with for like the past 3, 6, 12 months, trying to just get through the situation and get away from them. So that was kind of my experience with my ex-wife. Was very much what a therapist described as this, or go away, or I want you to come here. I mean, just total mixed signals. And again, like, maybe that's part of like the narcissist crazy making game. I don't know. With my ex-girlfriend, it was a little bit different in that we broke up multiple times during the 4 years that we were together. And one of the main periods that happened, again, it was very odd. Even now, like, everything I've learned, trying to process everything, there's so much about narcissism and the way the narcissist brain works that is just baffling to me. I don't get it. And so with my ex-girlfriend, we broke up, and then she would see me. We had the same social circles, and it's like, I don't care. This is a good concert. I'm gonna go see this band play. I'm having fun. These are my friends. We're having fun. And she would be furious, like, just really angry, to the point where like her jaw was clenched. And then she would and she would like make it very visible that she was just like really angry and furious, basically, that I existed period, at that point. And it's like, okay, well, that's great. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go dance in front of the stage because this is my favorite song. And then later on, I would get this what I refer to as the Russian novel text, where it's like 4,000 words, just and again, like the text that she sent was going in both directions. It was like, obviously she was, I mean, and this is a weird thing to say, or for a narcissist to be this obvious about. She was completely confused. She did not know which way was up at that point, and she was mad that I existed, but she was confused because she still had feelings for me, whether those were actual feelings of connection, or feelings of, okay, I want my supply back. I don't know. But I'm just saying, there was that internal conflict with her, which she just vomited up in this like 4,000 word text at like 1 a.m. And there was more interactions with her for the next couple of weeks that were kind of like that, where she was just going in both directions, where she obviously wasn't staying away. She wasn't saying I'm not going to talk to you or anything like that, but she was very schizophrenic with her approach to me. I mean, I'm just kind of doing my thing, living my life. I'm like, whatever, friends, not friends, that's fine. You know, I'm going to go to this concert. I'm going to go, you know, do this. And she was just, you know, there and communicating with me, but never being direct, you know. And it wasn't until, like I said, after a couple weeks that she was more direct of like, okay, can we get back together? Or, you know, something like that. And it was one of those things where, like, that was the first time that she asked it. But the very first text that she had sent, you know, at the beginning of this 2-week period had mentioned that, where she was like, you know, I don't know what it would be like to get back together with you. And it's like, that's such a vague statement. Why type it on your phone? Like, that doesn't mean anything. And so, you know, hoovering from her, you know, was again this like very schizophrenic, confusing, you know, or you know, her confusion was being expressed to me. And then what I will say is that, like, before that period, when we were split up, zero communication and stuff, she was still somehow finding out stuff about me. I'm assuming she was asking her friends about me, or maybe she had like, you know, fake social media accounts that she would use to, you know, spy on me or something like that, because she would later talk about things that happened while we were apart that I never told her about. And it's not necessarily anything bad. It was just kind of odd. It's like, okay, wait a minute. You know, we broke up. You know, at this point, you're basically angry that I exist on planet Earth, etc. And at the very same time, you're keeping tabs on me, or you know, finding out through social media or mutual friends like what's going on in my life. And it was strange. And so, you know, at this point, after this, you know, final breakup, you know, I'll make sure of it, that, you know, instead of doing any hoovering, she went, you know, kind of the other direction, or in my opinion, and just deadened, or, you know, deadened me, where basically, you know, her attempt wasn't simply to cut off communication. You know, she was like, okay, I'm going to erase you from, you know, my memory. I'm going to erase you from my house. I'm going to erase you from everything. And which again, it, and, you know, the reason I'm bringing it up now is because with the, you know, if you stop and think, you're like, okay, what is the amount of energy, time, and effort involved to hoover? That's I mean, let's be, you know, it's basically stalking. You know, that's a lot of time and effort and focus to gather information, to spy on the, you know, on people and stuff. And it's the same thing. If you dead someone, it's like, okay, now I'm going to spend all this energy wiping you from, you know, my social media, you know, from my life, from my home, from, you know, things that we did in, you know, in the past, from experiences that I had during the time that we were together. Like, that's a huge amount of effort involved in that. So, you know, my point is that, you know, again, like, it's very odd that the narcissist, you know, typically would have so much bravado about like ending their relationship, and, you know, I don't need you, I'm so great, blah, 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 blah. And then secretly be expending all this information either directly through hoovering, or having their flying monkeys go out and do like recon, be like, okay, go find out what they're doing, you know, go find out, like, you know, what the band's doing, or, you know, if the book's been published, you know, find out this stuff and then come back to me and let me know. And it's like, if they were truly over you, they wouldn't do those things. But at the same time, they don't, they don't want to fix things or to be back in the relationship. I would say most of the time that's for the best. But it's still just odd because, I mean, normal people, if they have a relationship and it ends, they'll just say, okay, I need to start the next chapter of my life. I need to, focus on myself and focus on building this new life and, kind of, correcting things that I did in this past relationship, etc. And they're very much, focused on, the future and going out. And that's the thing. Healthy people are not going to dead or hoover or something like that, because that's a lot of energy, time, effort spent going backwards. It's like, no, you're leaving that person back there. You focus your time and energy and effort on the future. And oddly enough, that's something that, like, again, with like the narcissist brain, they can monkey branch or move on to the new supply, and even start the honeymoon period with like someone new, and still have flying monkeys checking on you, and still kind of hoover and be like, oh yeah, did I leave my book over there? I think I may have left my book over there a couple months ago. And it's just very, very odd. But yeah, so that is what hoovering is. All I can say is, with experiencing the end of a relationship and then having the narcissist hoover, is, if at all possible, I know this sounds like a cliche, go no contact with them if at all possible. Just, again, they are doing the hoovering and stuff also because they want to keep a little hook in you. Whether it's you wanting to get back together with them or even you getting angry at them, they don't care. They're like these, they feed on emotion. They don't care if it's positive or negative. They just want a reaction out of you. And so if they can, they might be completely silent, you don't hear a thing, and then out of the blue, 6 months later, you get some weird text or a weird email or something like that. They just want that response. They don't care if it's good or bad. And they're just like, okay, good. I got a little bit of narcissistic supply because I just want validation that I'm alive. I just want the attention, confirmation that I still can like sink, my hooks into you. And so, if at all possible, just no contact, just keep, focused on the future and ignore the hoovering, and the flying monkeys, as much as you can. If you like this, please subscribe. That way you'll be notified of, new videos that I do. And I appreciate you watching these. And if you have any questions or requests for other videos that you'd like to see me make, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. Thanks.